I say it's better late than never. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, before I get to my questions, you're literally talking to each other right now for the first time in a long time. Stephen, anything you'd like to say to Warren?
Well, it's not even strange. It was kind of supposed to just happen because we've got so much unresolved stuff in music. I mean, last time we were really hanging, we were writing songs. And I mean, one still is in my head that we were writing at his house. So to me, it just seemed like, just like I was in a coma for a few years, and just woke up. Everything's the same, So it's all good.
That was right after Infestation, I think. We were hanging out here.
As Warren said, we were working on music, not even skipping a beat, And this idea came up. Somebody approached us, I believe Warren first, and said, hey, would you guys like to instigate something in M3? And it was given, like, let's go. That's what I said. I said, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I wanna, do a quick shout out to the owner of M3 and our manager and agent, guys and gals.
So
yeah,
Warren,
I agree, yeah.
Warren, I've been texting you and I said people would love to hear from you and people love your playing and miss your playing and miss seeing you, but you really haven't been out there. What have you been doing in this downtime that you've been away from being on the stage?
What I always did and what I always do, when I'm not sort of dealing with all the stuff that we deal with in life, I drift back into the studio and either start working on something that I hear in my head or refining something that I have going. So it's been a really nice thing to be able to do all this time. That's what I do, basically.
Did you miss being on stage? Do you miss playing? Do you miss being in front of an audience?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's hard to find words to describe the kind of energy that we have with our audience.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. I did keep it, I did not as much as I would have liked to, but, I like you said, I did do some gigs with some friends, the last one was with Billy Gibbons and Sebastian Bach, stuff like that. Kept it burning, but this is the real fire.
Stephen, you've been on with me many times, and you've been out there playing Ratt songs for the last few years now, doing a great job, great band and all that. But Warren, I don't know how aware of this you are, but Stephen, you've been very transparent and open in all the interviews we've done, saying, I would love to work with Warren. I want Warren. I got to reconnect with Warren. I would love to do something with Warren again. So how does this feel for you? Right now, you're actually talking to him and that this is finally going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something you've openly wanted.
Well, put it this way, I'm fucking ecstatic, but number two, now I know I got my work cut out for me, because if this boy's been just sitting around writing riffs, we're going to be able to write some songs sooner than later. And that's what we like doing, it's what we do. Wow, didn't miss a beat, you know what I mean? Except we're smarter, wiser, and hopefully a little more talented in the writing. So I'm looking forward to it.
Warren, did you hear through the wire that Stephen was shouting out to you a little bit?
I was always hopeful that we would able to get here.
I look at a guy to let a song or an idea ferment. It was just a matter of when, actually, is how I'm seeing it.
Warren, were you aware of the fans missing you and wanting you to play? And there's a great fan contingency out there. I mean, I would get calls all the time like, hey, where's Warren? What's he doing? Is he ever going to play again? Did you get a sense of that? I mean, I'm sure as a player you appreciate that the people certainly didn't forget about you.
Oh, when I'm out once in a while, sure. I'm not a big social media guy. I do have like a Facebook that I'll post, but it's pretty much limited to that. And I don't spend any time on the social media. I should, and I'm gonna try to do that more often. But
good luck.
I do get a lot. I do get a lot of positive feedback and enthusiasm from fans. It's awesome.
Hey, Ed, check it out. What's going to be real fun to do is for Warren and I to put a set list together. It's like I kind of put one together and I went, I think we're missing some songs here. So that's going to be a good thing. So if anybody out there, the fans, have any suggestions for songs, bring it on.
Warren, you jumping back in on this and doing this with Stephen, and I want to get from you what the band is going to be here in a second. But to Stephen's point, Warren, I mean, obviously you got to play the hits, and Ratt had a lot of hits. But what kind of stuff are you looking to digging into, Warren? Is there some deeper tracks or some things you haven't played in a while that you'd really like to try to reintroduce?
I think so, man. I think we need to just, really look at the whole catalog. There's probably a lot of deep cuts that would be just totally awesome for this event, you know?
Oh, yes. I can think of a few right now, Between the Eyes, Hard Time, I mean, Eat Me Alive, Jesus.
Giving Yourself Away would be cool.
That would be cool, actually. Look at us, Ed. We're talking the set list right here, live.
Well, it's funny. Giving Yourself Away is a song that Stephen and I have talked about a number of times. It's like the hit that should have been a hit that wasn't a hit, especially with the people that worked on it.
It's just one of my favorites,
Yeah, we played that in Japan the last time we were out there, and there's a video. They actually made a video for it.
I'll throw In Your Direction out there. I love that riff.
Oh, In Your Direction?
Yeah. Yeah, we got to do that one.
That'd be killer. I'm really excited about this, not only as a fan, but I'm excited for the two of you, because I'm hearing the two of you speaking right now together. First of all, I'm honored that you chose this show with me to do this, and you're speaking for the first time. But I can genuinely hear in both of your voices genuine excitement for this, which is really, really cool, because we've all been doing this a long time, but to get that juice and that excitement is really special. And Stephen, I really can feel it from you, because I know how bad you wanted this for how long.
Oh, yeah. And, like I say, Warren's not a guy you, kind of shove out there. It'll happen when it happens, and here we are. I mean, look, the Invasion celebration, I'm calling it, It's 40 years of Invasion. I'm sure we'll be playing a few of those songs, and it's a natural. I'm going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time. We've already got a lot of stuff in mind.
When I got the call with this, Stephen won the coin toss on that one, but I just was like, this is it.
Oh yeah, It's going to be. I'll guarantee you an ass whipping.
This is the door.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been waiting for the right door to open, and this was it.
It's about the legacy of our music, and who better to deliver it. So we just decided, this is great. This is perfect. I mean, we don't want to hit a brick wall. We want this nice and smooth. So that's what we intend to do. It's about the legacy of Ratt, period.
Will Juan or Blotz be involved in this at any point in any way?
No. We wanted it to be about the music and Warren and myself delivering it, because it is going to be a little different. If you were to throw the other guys in the mix, it wouldn't be exactly what it is now, the opportunity. So saying that, no, Warren can tell you what's going down with who's playing with us,
Yeah, who's the band, Warren?
Well, Carlos is available and wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlos Cavazo is returning on second guitar with you.
Correct.
Which is cool. And I'm bringing in Matt Thorne on bass, and then we're taking Blast Elias on drums, and we're ready to go.
When I moved up to L.A. to join Ratt, I stayed at a house with Jake Lee for a few months, and it was like a 3-bedroom, and Jake had one and Matt had the other, and I was on the couch. And that goes way back with actually kind of looking forward to checking that out again.
We'll guarantee it'll be an evening to have for all.
Those are all killer players. That'll be killer. When do you guys plan to come together for the first time? What is the timetable? Stephen, you want to take that one?
Probably sooner than rehearsals for M3, because, I have ideas. I think Warren wants to write some songs, so it could be a week. It's going to be sooner than later, yeah. Then we'll go into rehearsals for M3, and we do intend on adding some more dates, so we'll take it from there.
Warren, anything you want to add?
No, that sounds about right.
It's all good. We have some great people behind this, so it's almost like it's going to be very smooth, and that's all what we're hoping for. And obviously, new music is what I'm thinking always. If Warren's writing, I'm in there. But, M3 is definitely the perfect place to kick it off. I'll guarantee you.
So there are going to be more shows. This is not just a one-off. You guys are not just coming together to do M3. You want to continue this and build on it. It sounds like, correct?
I think you might have some more. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead,
Warren.
Sorry. No,
that's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Warren.
Since we announced the M3 show, there's been other stuff has come up. So
we're entertaining.
Yeah.
Warren, you're open to continuing this as assuming it all goes well. You're not viewing this as a one-off. You just coming back to do M3 and then kind of going, off the grid a little bit again. This is kind of like you wanting to step back out there again and seeing where it goes.
Everything has a momentum, or it can have a momentum, and in this case, it's just it just feels better and better. I've always wanted to play these songs to the people like we always have, and I'm totally game to doing more.
There you go. So, prepare for a good evening. It's going to be a great time at M3. Everybody come out, and we do thank those guys for, helping us along with this project.
One of the things that I think is really interesting about this and talking to you guys right now that I'm picking up on from both of you is that so much of the business now, as we know it, is about live. And it's all about going out and playing the hits and playing live, which you're clearly going to do. And it sounds like you're going to do it beyond M3. But the other big thing that I'm definitely catching from both of you is that there's a real desire here to create new music and to write new music. And that's interesting because a lot of bands of your era, it's about playing the hits and then nostalgia and the catalog and going out and playing live. Where is that coming into play? Is it just because you guys have both been writing individually and you really have stuff you want to get out? We know it's been a long time since there's been a new Ratt record. So for you, Warren, is that just, we'll start with you, Warren. Is that just part of your creative process that you've been sitting on stuff and you've been shaping stuff and you're really looking forward to making it work?
My method is just to get ideas down and refine them as best I can, and then they sort of have this weird way of finding their way out to the public. So I, work on something, put it away for a while, listen to it again, almost forgetting about it completely, and then I can sort of judge it with fresh ears, and it's like, this is strong or this isn't. And that's kind of the thing. So it's like, for instance, the song that Stephen was talking about earlier, we were just hanging out at my house one day, and I had recorded a demo of this song, and Stephen just, we spent a couple of hours, and it just turned into something that every time I hear it, you just get this positive feeling like this is a good song. And that's something I think that's kind of kept this thing going, as long as it has, going back to Out of the Cellar. We have our differences. We fight, we make up, but it's the music and what it means to the fans that kind of just keeps it going the way it is, So excited to be on this side of it again.
What song is that, Warren? What song is that you're talking about specifically?
The working title is Sunset and Whiskey.
Oh, it's not out yet.
No.
No.
But Ed, I got to say, like Warren was saying, if he's going to sit on a song, but me, I'm more than excited to hear what Warren's got going because, as usual, I'll probably force him in the studio, soon enough. So I'd love to hear these riffs.
I wonder if we're talking about the same song. Hang on, let me play a little bit of it. Hold on.
Well, we're going to write a Ratt song right here on the radio. I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's hear it. No, it was another song I'm thinking about because we actually did put one down and record it at Matt's. Okay. I
remember that one too. Yeah,
remember that? That's a great fucking
song.
What
do you call that?
Yeah, I just hit it up to somebody today.
You Took My Breath Away?
There you go. That's it. You Took My Breath Away. That's a great fucking song. We'll probably take that one.
Well, I think it needs another few hours, but it definitely has potential.
Look at that.
I love this.
There you go.
I love this. We're witnessing the creative process. You guys haven't even talked in a few years, and you're writing songs on the radio with me. This is incredible. I mean, I'm just excited that you guys are speaking and wanting to get ready to play. And I know I share in all the excitement with the fans. And I mean, it's so cool that you're gravitating towards new stuff too, because I know you guys had mixed feelings about Infestation, some of you, but a lot of people really like that record. But I know Stephen, you said that you felt there was unfinished business there as far as recording rap music, right?
Yeah, I'm told 100% because, like I say, if you don't get the right elements going, and sometimes, like Warren says, these songs take years and then they pop out of the woodwork. I mean, we've done it on some of our records. Those songs, some of those are years old. They just have to ferment, but we appreciate everybody who's excited about this, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a show, and M3, here we come. And we'll keep in touch and get ready to rock and roll, man.
I noticed doing this for a long time that it's not that difficult to get good. It's another thing to get something that's great, and that takes time. You have to work it as much as you can and almost forget about it for a while, and then listen to it cold, and then it stands out. This part needs to come up and da-da-da,
I've asked Stephen about this in past interviews. When you talk about what obviously is the biggest Ratt song being Round and Round, and if I'm always curious about this, I always like asking artists this, like if you knew, every artist has the definitive song. If you knew when you wrote and recorded it that it was going to be that special. And Stephen's talked about this before with me, but I'm curious as your take on that, talking about this process of writing. What is your recollection of Round and Round? Did you have any feel when you recorded it for your part of that song that this thing was going to be your defining song?
Oh, man. There was definitely some energy I've never experienced in my life when we recorded it. For instance, the double lead section was originally supposed to be I do the first solo and then Robin does the second solo. Let's just do something together. I came up with that whole double lead bit. Back then, studio time was just super expensive, and we're supposed to know what you were doing before you go in there. So I'm making this up real time, and we're working it out together and then recorded it together, and it just was an incredible moment.
Stephen, for your part in it, when you I think you told me in the past about Round and Round that you didn't really know it was going to turn into what it did, right?
No, but we knew we were doing something right because we'd record, Warren and Robin and I at Rat Mansion West, we would record with 2 cassette tape decks, bouncing them back and forth, like put down a guitar part, then you play it, and then it record a new part over it. It was really fun, actually, and basic, and I still kind of use those elements today. But when we were doing that, and the lyrics came pretty easy, I didn't think it would be huge like it is, but I knew it was kind of a fun song. And then when Bo got a hold of it, well, there you go. It became a whole nother thing because it was all new to everybody.
I didn't think it was going to change the future. I'm talking about when we wrote it that day at Rat Mansion West. But I did note that something had happened, and we all just sort of put this together. And my memory is it didn't take very long, man.
No, it didn't. It was pretty quick.
I had this practice amp. We all lived together in a one-bedroom, apartment in North Culver City.
Imagine, baby.
And I had this, I just had my practice rig and, a little practice amp, and I was practicing one day, and both Robin and Stephen came out and go, "What is that?" And for the next couple hours, put together what it is today,
Yeah.
I just remember that was pretty much the first, that or Morning After or One and Man, they were all written there around the same time. And I'm not sure which one was first, but it just was sort of the first time that something was really complete. And by that I mean we all remembered everything about the song, It was really
we started playing it live, and it wasn't
and everyone remembered the arrangement and their parts and all that stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you guys go in a minute here. A couple quick things. To this point, when you talk about the Ratt legacy and the catalog, I've said this many, many times. I put it up there against any band from that era. I think the music holds up incredibly well. I think the songs, the albums, the consistency, the amount of hits, the big videos, all of that stuff. Have you seen and are you aware, and Warren, I'll let you start on this one, the legacy of the band? Like, it's amazing to me. I've been doing this 41 years, and I connect with people at all these different ages that jump in, and they'll tell me, I'll meet a kid that's 20 years old and be like, yeah, I got into music because of this or what have you, my parents or whatever. You've got to feel, and I imagine that maybe drives you a little bit to get out there again now, that there is potentially a whole nother audience. You got the old guard like me who've been there since day one, but there's a really interesting thing happening where there's a whole other audience of younger people that have been exposed to this stuff, whether it's through a TV commercial or whether it's through their parents or whether it's through radio or video or YouTube. Do you realize that about your legacy? We'll start with you, Warren. Like you have an acknowledgement of that, and I would think that's got to be a pretty powerful thing for you to want to get out there and play.
It most definitely is, man. For me, it's all about those live moments, and they're all awesome. And that's when things happen. That for me, going to see shows, my brother took me to see The Who when I was like 7 years old, and it just absolutely blew me away. And I knew from that moment on what I wanted to do. It's hard to describe the connections that happened, during that live show. And I just feel so lucky to be able to do it, and that, people care about the music as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
Warren, were you approached in the time that you weren't doing this? Were there opportunities brought to you? Maybe did you ever even entertain maybe doing a solo record or something?
Well, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I keep writing, and the hardest part is deciding how are these songs going to get out there. And my first choice is doing it with this guy singing, man. I mean, I just fucking love his voice. That's my first choice, I mean, I work on singing a lot, but I don't sing as good as this guy yet.
Or yell as good as this guy yet. Hey, Eddie, let me tell you something. When we do these meet and greets, and Warren and I'm sure we'll get there eventually, I meet these fans of ours who are so fucking sincere. It blows my mind. And yes, they bring grandkids and their kids, and it's I call them rugrats out there if I see anybody under a certain age, but it's like the demographic is much wider, and I got to tell you, the 80s were an important part of music history, and the fact that we're still part of it over 40 years later is a blessing, and it's appreciative. And the people who come and see us and who make this legacy, fuck yes, thank you. I mean, because I like going out there and having a good time. Like Warren goes out there for his reason. I go out there for the same. And to get something back, it's about fun, it's about having a good time, and never say never, and here you go.
All right. So just in wrapping up here, definitely sounds like new music is something you both want to do. No timetable for that, though, right? Like, if there's going to be new, you don't think maybe you could do you hope to maybe even put out a single maybe sometime soon? Like, I know you got to still reconnect and all of that, but
Ed, if you're asking
I wouldn't
me,
say it's out of the question.
I'd say why not?
Before a couple of weeks ago, I haven't talked to this guy in 7 years, So I mean,
until now, you haven't talked in 7 years.
I think the sky's the limit, and try not to F it up,
Yeah, right.
And more shows to be announced. So people who can't make M3 or whatever, by the way, tickets for that are on sale Friday. But for people that can't make it in Maryland, it sounds like a good possibility that there's going to be additional stuff announced fairly soon.
Yes. Why not? Like Warren says, hey, it's like a new beginning. So let's have at it, and see what happens. New music, shows, we're just into it. And that's the first step, is we're into it.
There's no shortage of ideas.
And the band lineup, Matt Thorne on bass, Blas Elias on drums, and Carlos on guitar. Warren, for you, I've talked to Carlos, and Carlos is always like, yeah, man, I don't want to do anything unless it's with Warren. I mean, he said that on the air to me, and he said that privately, and he was the last guy in Ratt as the other guitar player. What is it about the chemistry between you and Carlos that makes it work so well that you're bringing it back again?
I think, we grew up on the same stuff. We were friends early on. I mean, Robin, and me and Carlos, would be out at a show or something like that. We would always sort of end up in a corner somewhere, talking about guitar. Yeah. And guitar-wise, I think our styles just really complement each other, He's a good listener, and there's a comfort there.
Yeah, there you go.
He knows what to do. We just have a similar standard, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and speaking of guitar players, you both mentioned this guy, and he's a guy that I'm friends with as well that lives here in Vegas where I am, and that's Jakey Lee, who, of course, thank God he's still with us and, survived this horrific shooting. Have you been in touch with him?
I have, yeah. I'm hoping to see him soon. But, yeah, unbelievable. So lucky and just so thankful.
He's out and about. He's making the rounds around town again, so he's out there again, which is good to see. So I know you guys both have a lot of love for him, and I'm glad he survived this thing, man, because that was a horrible, crazy thing. But he survived it.
Real. I mean, he was in L.A. 3 days before that, and we had lunch with him. I haven't seen him in a long time. Had a great time. Day after that, I'm getting called at 6 a.m, and it was surreal. But again, I'm just so happy, that he's okay. He's going to be okay.
Yeah, and probably going to start playing together, start playing again soon, from what I hear. Because before he was shot, I talked to him about playing my party a year ago, which Stephen played, and he couldn't do it because he was having a wrist issue. So now that he's recovering, hopefully the wrist is healed up a little bit, because we need that guy playing some guitar again. That would be good to hear.
Yeah,
yes.
Just in closing, guys, Warren, I'll start with you. What do you want to say, and what do you want to say to the fans listening? Because there's so many people that missed you and missed you playing, and I'm one of them as well. But what message you want to send out there to everybody?
Well, we're going to be starting rehearsal on this real soon, and going to just give it our all, man. And, thanks for all the support over the years. You're the reason that we're still doing this, and totally understand that, and God bless you.
Yeah.
Stephen, anything you want to add?
Me?
I know that you wanted to do this forever, man. I know this is something you've been angling for.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ed, 2 words, fuck yes. 2 more, let's go.
Well, I think that sums it all up. Hey, guys, I can't thank you enough.
Bye-bye.
I can't thank you both enough for doing this, and I'm happy for you both, and looking forward to seeing where this all goes, and keep us posted, and happy to be here to share any information as it goes that you want to get out to the audience.
You got it, brother.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
Warren, Stephen, thank you, man. Yeah, you too, Warren. Good to chat.
See you soon, brother.
All right, you got it, Stephen.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.